everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. In today's video, I am going to be sharing some cleaning motivation of pretty much my entire main level of my home. Here I am just showing you some before shots of the craziness that was each room in my house before I got to cleaning this day. So I needed to tackle the dining room, the kitchen, my master bedroom, as well as both of my bathrooms. The only room in the house that I didn't really need to worry about this day was my main living area. So now I'm just going to get started off in the master bedroom. I needed to wash all of my linens, so I am going to start out by stripping the bed, taking everything off and putting it in the washing machine. That way it can be washing and get dried while I am working on the rest of the cleaning throughout the day. Okay, and then next up I am moving into my bathrooms. I wanted to have this toward the top of my list this day just because cleaning the bathrooms has got to be my least favorite cleaning task of all time. So I like to go ahead and get them cleaned up and out of the way early in the day. That way it is behind me and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm starting out here in my guest bathroom, and then I will move on into the master bathroom as well. One thing that I also like to do, you'll see as I am cleaning my bathrooms, is I like to go ahead and spray down all of my surfaces that need to be disinfected, so the sink and the toilet mainly, first, and then I go through and do other things like cleaning the mirrors or the floors or something like that. That way it just gives that disinfecting cleaner a few minutes to do its work and actually kill the germs before I just spray it on and wipe it away without giving it time to actually work. So here you can see I just sprayed everything down, and then I went ahead and cleaned my mirrors, and then I came back to wiping down all my surfaces. So that's just the way I have always cleaned my bathrooms. I just find it's a little bit more effective that way. And I feel better about, like I said, allowing the disinfectant cleaner to actually do its job. If you read the instructions on a lot of disinfecting cleaners, it actually does say to allow them to sit for a few minutes before you wipe them away. So that's just something that I like to incorporate into my cleaning routine. Okay, so now we are all done with the bathrooms. I can get rid of those nasty gloves and move on with the rest of my day. You can actually see my outfit change here after I finished cleaning the bathrooms. I went ahead and took a shower and got ready for the day, and then I got back to the rest of the cleaning that I had on my list. So my linens were ready to be turned over at this point, so I went ahead and threw the sheets into the dryer, and then I hung my quilt to dry. I don't like to put the quilt in the dryer just because I don't think it's good for the fabric, and also I just don't like to put things that are too heavy in my dryer. I think it's a little bit hard on all the mechanisms and all of that, so to the extent that I have time to allow it to air dry, that's what I like to do.
Hi, Cocoa Bear. Are you sunbathing? Huh? You like sitting in the sun? Mommy does too. I just had to show you guys. Coco sunbathing. Pause for the cause.
Okay, so jumping right back into the kitchen, I am going to work on my oatmeal banana bread recipe, and feel free to grab a screenshot if you are interested in this recipe. But whenever I am cleaning up, especially in my kitchen, if I know I have either big recipes to prepare or ingredients that I need to prep and get ready for the week, I like to go ahead and do that while I'm cleaning before I do all my deep cleaning of my counters and washing all the dishes and all of that, just so that I'm making the mess one time and then I can clean it up. I've said this in my videos before, but I just find that that works best for me and allows me to be most efficient with my time. So this weekend I was preparing this banana bread for a friend of mine who had requested it, and so I knew I would be seeing her and I wanted to go ahead and make this for her. And then I also had some things that I needed to prep ingredient wise, so I was going to be making some homemade refried beans as well as chopping up a couple pineapples that I had gotten at Costco, and I wanted to get those chopped up and ready so that they would be easy for me to eat on throughout the week. So that's what I'm doing here, starting out with the banana bread, and then I will get into the ingredient prep. But yeah, that's the main thing that I wanted to just kind of pop in and share here, is that, like I said, whenever I am cleaning up, particularly in my kitchen, I like to go ahead and make all the mess at one time and then clean it up, and then throughout the week it's really just about maintaining it and keeping it clean, as opposed to having to clean up so many times because I'm continuing to make big recipes or prep a bunch of ingredients that I really could get all done at one time and then just clean it up and be done with it for the week. And by the way, I have found that this banana bread recipe is definitely one of my favorites. I've made it several times now, and I think I've got it down to a science. It's pretty simple to make, and it doesn't have a ton of ingredients. I also really like it because it has the oatmeal in it, and for me at least, that makes it a little bit healthier. And it's also a great way to use up bananas that get really ripe and you don't really want to eat them fresh anymore. Banana bread is obviously a great way to use those up. You can either freeze them and mash them up ahead of time and just thaw them out, or if you've got some super ripe bananas sitting on your counter that you need to use up, this is a great way to do that. So this is a recipe that I really enjoy making, and like I said, I've made it several times, so definitely give it a try. And if you do and you like it, leave me a comment down below and let me know how much you enjoyed it. So here now I am moving on to chopping up the pineapple like I mentioned before, and I was trying out a different method. I've actually not cut up a fresh pineapple in I don't know how many years, if ever. I can't remember ever doing it before. So I watched a few YouTube videos on tips for how to cut up a fresh pineapple. So here I was just trying a couple of different methods of slicing it into pieces first and then cutting off the skin, and then I tried cutting off the skin first and then chopping it up. I mean, either way, the pineapple tasted great. I think I did like the second method that you'll see me doing, where I had it cut in half and I peeled the skin off first and then went through and chopped it. It was just a little bit easier for me to get a grip on the pineapple whole. while the skin was on and get the skin off that way. But I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do it. I'm sure there is. To me, it looks like I am butchering this pineapple as I am watching the footage back now, but hey, it worked out. The pineapple turned out great. And I did have a little bit of extra left over that I wasn't able to get through within the week, and so I ended up freezing it and put it in smoothies later, and that worked out great as well. So definitely this is something that I like to do with my produce, is go ahead and chop it up and get it prepped and ready for the week while I am cleaning up my kitchen. That way it is there and ready for me to use, and it doesn't go to waste. And even if I can't use it all, at least it's already chopped up and ready for me to stick it into the freezer and use it for a different purpose later on down the road. So yeah, that's something that I have been doing lately, and it has been working out really well for me. Okay, and then here I am just really quickly putting away some leftover banana pudding that I had made. There was just one serving left, so I wanted to go ahead and transfer that into a smaller container so we could eat that later, but go ahead and have that larger container cleared out so that I could wash it along with the huge pile of dishes that was accumulating in my sink, which you will see here in just a couple minutes. And the last thing that I had to prep this day for my ingredients was my homemade refried beans. This is not the most appetizing process in the world, but I do enjoy making my own homemade refried beans because I control the quality of ingredients. So they're really simple to make, and I'm somebody that really enjoys eating beans. So I actually just cook up my beans in my slow cooker the way I normally do, and any leftovers that I have, I will go ahead and let them cool down, and then I will just put them on a plate, as you can see here, and mash them up with a fork. Then I like to store them flat inside a freezer bag, and that way when I'm ready to have refried beans, I can just break this really easily. I actually can go through and just take the flat bag and snap it, and it does allow me to take off just 1 or 2 servings of the beans and put them on my quesadilla or in my tacos or whatever it is that I need the refried beans for. As well as, I'm just not a huge fan of a whole lot of canned foods. There are some things that I do eat out of a can, but if it's something that I can make on my own and not have to take it out of a can, that's my preference. So that's what I was doing there. It's a bit of a messy job, so again, one of those things that I wanted to get taken care of while I was cleaning up my kitchen. And so now that I am completely done with all of my ingredient prep for the week, as well as baking my banana bread, I'm gonna go ahead and move back into cleaning up my kitchen. So as you can see, I have a ginormous pile of dishes here at my sink that needed to be washed, and I just went ahead and hand washed them because I'm sure at this point either my dishwasher was full or I needed to empty it. I honestly can't even remember at this point. I just know that I was ready to have all of my dishes cleaned and put away. So as much as I do not enjoy hand washing dishes, I went ahead and washed all of these just to get the task done and out of the way, and I could have all clean dishes for the start of the week. Okay, so that was a ton of dishes. So I'm super glad that that is done now, and now we are moving into cleaning up the rest of the kitchen. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting all of the dry dishes away, and then just start getting my countertops cleared off and things moved out of the way so that I can do my weekly deep clean and disinfecting of all of my countertops. This is something that I'm continuing to do. I do my best to do this every single week. Even if I don't totally clear the countertops and move everything off of them completely, I at least try to move things around and out of the way so that I can go ahead and spray it down with my cleaner to actually clean the surfaces first, and then I go back through the second time and spray everything down with my disinfectant cleaner, allow that to sit while I do other things, and then come back and wipe it down once again so that the disinfectant has an opportunity to do its job before I just spray it and wipe it away. So that's what I'm doing here, is just working on getting all of my surfaces first cleaned and then second disinfected for the week. Okay, and then last couple things to do in the kitchen are here at the sink. I wanted to go ahead and clean my garbage disposal, so I just quickly dropped one of my garbage disposal cleaners down into the sink, ran the disposal on a couple cycles, and then rinsed that away. And then the very last thing is just making up some multi-purpose cleaner for the week, and that's just from a little concentrate tube, and then you fill the rest up with water. It smells really great and it cleans really well, so I just wanted to go ahead and have a fresh bottle of that ready to go for the week as well. And then I'm going to move into my dining room area, which has, since this video was filmed, actually been transformed into my work from home office space / dining room area. So if you saw my last video, then you know that this space looks a little bit different now, and I will leave a link to that video here so that you can go check that out if you haven't had a chance to already. So I just needed to kind of tidy up and vacuum in this space. It wasn't too bad. I just needed to put things back in their place and then vacuum the floors, and that was really it that I needed to do in this room. So after that, I just needed to move back into my master bedroom to remake the bed now that my sheets and everything were clean and dry. So that's what I'm doing here, and I just was showing that one tip that I learned for the fitted sheet is if you find the little tag in the corner of it, that typically goes on the bottom right side of the foot of the bed. So if you're looking at the head of the bed, that little tag goes on the right hand side. That's something I find helpful because not all of my sheets have the top bottom indicator. So I usually look for that little tag so I'm not sitting there for 5 minutes flipping the sheet around trying to find out which direction it should go on my bed. that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it gave you some cleaning motivation. If it did, please give it a big thumbs up. That really supports my channel a lot, so I would appreciate it. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button before you head on out and click the notification bell so that you are notified of all of my new uploads. We would love to have you be a part of our family here at KrystalElaineTV. I post videos with cooking and cleaning motivation, as well as organizational tips and just all things lifestyle. So if you are into topics like that, definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave and join our family here at KrystalElaineTV. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.